This is Kendall Davidson, and we're building with ULSTN Media.
Nights like these got me reminiscing, looking at my phone, wondering if I should call. Nights like these, did I make the right decisions? I don't know at all. Nights like these, family say I'm acting strange.
All right. This is ULSTN Media's Build series, platform specifically for independent artists and creators. I got a very, very special guest in the building with me today. Rap, sing, do some of everything, man. Just great all-around artist, Kendall Davidson, man. How's it going, man?
It's going good, man. Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. How things been going for you?
I got no complaints, man. Just on an album rollout, just living life, trying to just make things shake.
Okay. I guess we couldn't ask anything more from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a St. Louis hustle. You know, you gotta dip your hand in everything.
For sure, man. So since it's your first time with on the Build Series podcast, man, I like to do sort of like origins all the way up to the current day.
Yeah.
So my first question to you would be, how would you describe your childhood?
My child, he went there. My childhood was interesting. It was a lot of love. My parents divorced early, so I felt like I had to mature a little bit. You know, life will give you lessons and, you know, mold and shape you. So dealing with just a split of family allowed me to look at life from a different lens. So what people call it, I got an old soul.
I mean, how old were you when your parents split up?
8 years old.
8. Oh man, and you remember it?
Oh yeah, big time. So from going from one household to two households, so you had like two of everything. So that was pretty a dramatic experience. But the other side of that, I had 2 PlayStations, had 2 TVs, I had 2 closets. I had two pairs of shoes everywhere. So yeah, in the long run, it paid off.
How long did you think it took you to sort of get used to, your parents being separated?
I never really got used to it, to be honest with you. I'm a very family-oriented person. I'm a father now, so it's probably coming back to full circle to where I'm getting everybody together. Like, look, we're not going to have 2 holidays. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. I got a baby boy now, so it's actually coming into full circle in a sense of getting everybody back together, because they didn't have to cross paths that much. Now that I'm an adult, out of college and, on my own. Nobody had to get me out of jail or nothing. So, just pushing through life. So,
Man. Well, man, that sounds like a tough one, man. What were some of your, musical influences coming up?
Yeah, that's a good question. So my grandmother and my mother was really big into jazz, raw airs, definitely 70s funk, Parliament, Bootsy Collins. So we used to have
I'm seeing where you're getting it from. You guys name it.
yeah. So we used to have little family get-togethers on Sundays, and my parents would play spades, and they would just had the big tower speakers.
Yeah.
That your grandma had, and we just my grandma had a 12-disc CD changers. That was state of the art. The whole little rack. And so I just be playing with my toys, and they just be blasting and playing spades. So a lot of my influence comes from that era, 70s, jazz, soul, a little bit of alternative, a little bit of rock. My Mima, I call her my Mimo. That's my grandma. She was a little bit of a hippie, so she dibbled and dabbled in a lot of different genres of music. So
that's what's up. Man. When did you feel like, okay, I want to start making music myself?
That's funny. So I shouldn't tell this story, but I'm gonna tell it. So when I was in high school, I was part of a rap group. But before that, I always wrote short stories and poetry.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably middle school, and so when I got to high school, a friend of mine approached me about rapping, and so we started a group. And it was funny. One of the girls at the school was having a Sweet 16, and I got invited to perform it.
Okay.
But my mom asked me, like, Kendall, you always share when you're proud of something. Like, why you haven't shared your music? And I was like, no. Like, it's nothing. She's like, well, I want to hear the music. So my mom's like, low-key a private investigator. She could find out any information you need. And so she found my MySpace. I'm telling my age. Found my MySpace page. And I was talking about stuff that I was not supposed to be talking about. And she sat me down like, you can't perform at the Sweet 16. I was distraught. But it was something that she said that was key. She's like, and you got the nerve to be good. So she like put me on punishment, but the fact that she said that I was good, that turned me up. But it was a valuable lesson too, because she's like, you're talented, but think about the things that you want to say, because those things follow you. Like, think about your message and what you want to put out there. So that really kind of like put me on a trajectory to like really focus on intent of how I make music, what I want to talk about.
What was you saying, man?
Man, I was talking about street, and a whole bunch of stuff. Just St. Louis stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be hard, but like, just stuff that I had no business talking about. Like, maybe some stuff my cousins and them was doing, but I wasn't doing. Let's just put it that way.
This was up, man. Moms had to come in and shut it on.
Yeah, she just turned me up a little. She's like, I ain't gonna tell you what she said, but she's like, this look, I had the nerve to be good. So that was about 14 years old is when I started that, and then and kept going.
Did you like choose singing first, or did you choose rapping first, or how did that happen?
So I was a church boy growing up, so I was like the
your mama was really on you.
Yeah, she was really on me, man. Single mama, you know what I'm saying? She's like, you going to church, you know what I'm saying? So I was like really involved in like church and like activities. So I was like the president of the youth choir. So it was my job to select songs and like really just get the youth together. How old was you? I'm 14, 15 years old. Yeah, overachiever. So I used to sing a lot, and I used to do choir in school too, in middle school as well. So singing, I wouldn't say I would call myself a singer, but that's kind of probably where that background comes from. And then, being from St. Louis, we like to do everything. So I was like, well, I can't find nobody to sing on my stuff, so I guess I'm going to try to sing on my stuff and figure it out. I'm like, we're going to put a little auto-tune in it, take a whole bunch of takes, but I'm going to get it right eventually.
Yeah. I mean, that's dope, man. So the singing kind of just came after.
Yeah, just a fusion of me trying things that I wanted people to try, and I ain't had the resources to get people in. So I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna try to sing this hook. I sing these backgrounds.
I mean, shoot, it worked out, man. It worked out for sure, man. So, like, when did you end up creating your first song?
So I started that rap group 14, freshman in high school. By 15, I had my own music. I started and then created my own album by 16. So like I begged my grandmas and parents to buy me little trinkets and little things. So like my grandma had like this is another grandma, but she had like a hip surgery, and she was like, can you come over in the summer and stay with me? And she's like, I'll get whatever you want if you help me recover while doing this hip surgery. And I was like, well, I want a MacBook. And she's like, shit. Well, I did tell her what I wanted to do, because before that, I had a passion for filming. That's really my first love. And so I wanted to make movies, and I wanted to do music, and I thought the MacBook was like the pinnacle of what you could get to like create.
You was on the right track.
Yeah, so I got that, and then did chores and like saved my money up, got a mic, and then I went to Walmart and got some mattress foam and took out all the clothes in my closet and stapled the mattress foam up. And so it was like a little process, but I just be recording there hot as hell in that closet.
Man, that's dope, man. You just kept with it.
Kept going, and then I went to school for music engineering and broadcast communications at UCM. And so that was like my first time being in a real studio because we had access to it because of the degree program. And so that's when I made like my first official project, self-produced by me, called Dawn of a Freshman. And that was at 17, and then here we are now.
Nice, man. The album, Nights Like These. How did that project come about, man?
Man, so Nights Like These, I feel like I've been chasing that album for a long time. I feel like that was the start of me really diving into like my confidence in music per se. I got with my cousin who had been doing music for a long time, as well as his homeboy by the name of Cruz, RJ and Cruz. They have a production company called The Obscure Rebellion. I've been trying to get with them for a long time at that point in my life because I was really, impressed by their production. And so I kept bothering them, like, hey, can I please just come by y'all studio and just make some music? I got some ideas. And so I made a project called Samples of Life, which was what it was called. It was a lot of different samples from like jazz to rock, and they helped me produce that. And then they was like, well, let's do some original stuff. And so that's how Nights Like These came about. And the project was really just, me in my early 20s trying to figure out adulthood and going through relationships and, going through trying to figure out what type of man I wanted to be, so it's just a reflection of just one night of me just reflecting on where I was at in my life.
That's what's up, man. I think my favorite track off the album is Motivators. That 40, 50, 60.
Yeah.
I was listening to it in a car with my son, man. He go 40, 50. That song turned me up too.
Man,
it's got a great hook to it, man. And I just like just the whole message of it, man.
I appreciate
Motivators. That's a bop right there.
I got haters, but they my motivators. Yeah. that turned me up at a time. I had a little chip on my shoulder, just trying to make it and feeling like I had something to say. And I'm like, well, I felt like a lot of people, in a sense, weren't taking me serious, and I wanted to channel that energy into that, taking that power back and using it for my ability to produce and make something happen. So
that's what's up, man. I think another track that I really liked off there was Black Sun.
Oh, yeah.
How did that track come about?
That was produced around the time of Mike Brown. So that was really a very influential time, of course, for all of us in St. Louis. And I wanted to do something that spoke to all the young black boys, who were growing up in the streets of St. Louis, being proud of who we are in spite of, our circumstances and trials and tribulations, to keep your head up.
Why is that important?
I think, for me, it's something that I feel that we don't see. I feel like it's a stereotype in the sense of what media presents us as black young men, you know what I mean? And I feel like we at times don't have the same grace, so to make mistakes, because we all make mistakes, you know what I'm saying? We all trying to figure it out. So I wanted to do something that was encouraging and okay, in spite of our shortcomings, in spite of the things that we're going, keep your head up, in a sense. And I felt that was important, especially at the time of me being a young black man, growing up, stumbling, trying to figure things out. Yeah,
I mean, we definitely don't get no grace.
No, for sure.
It's on hard for us all of the time, man. The album, Somewhere in Between. How did that album come together, man?
Man, so we had COVID. I had Nights Like These, and then we did an album called Solitary, and then COVID dropped. And, COVID changed everybody's life. And so it was also a point that I felt like I wasn't sure if I was going to do music again.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I mentioned earlier, my music is really a reflection of where I'm at and the point in my life. And at that point, I was, again, it's like the same thing, dealing with a relationship, dealing with back-to-back deaths in my family. My grandmother had passed away unexpectedly, as well as my grandfather, 2 weeks apart. And so I wasn't sure if I was going to do music again, and somewhere in between also helped me channel a lot of that energy that I was dealing with at the time. And also as I mentioned earlier, I was producing with my cousin and my friend Cruz, and they were at a point in their life that they couldn't, contribute like they normally could. They were starting their families and careers. And so I had got to a point like, all right, if I'm going to do this, then, I'm going to have to do it on my own. So it really got me back to producing, the material, and really just getting that confidence again after not being active for so long, and channeling all those different experiences and the things that were going on. And I'm very thankful for the album, because we wouldn't be talking now if it didn't come about.
So how much of the instrumentals and the production did you do for the album by yourself? Everything.
Everything. And so
wow.
Also, the cool thing about Somewhere in Between is I always wanted to perform with the band. And so me getting back on the scene, I was like, man, I've been performing at that point for a long time over an MP3, and I was like, man, but I love live instrumentation. And so I said, if I was going to get back on the scene with this project, I wanted to make sure that I created the experience I always wanted to create when it came to the live shows, because I feel like that is something that should be celebrated more. I hate to say it, but we listen to a lot of fake music. A lot of the sounds that we listen to are not really real, in a sense. If you think about it, it's all digital. But it's something about hearing a guitar, something about hearing a lick of a bass that resonates, to the soul.
Man.
And so that project, turned me up in a sense of like trying to find that groove, or trying to create those experiences.
Them live instruments, man, it's the strings, it's the vibrations, them real vibrations that touch. Sometimes, depending on the instrument, you can like feel it in your spine, man. You know what I mean?
No, for real. It's something about it. It's ancient, you know what I'm saying? It's something that's rooted in us as people, that frequency. And so I wanted to use somewhere in between to channel that.
Man, coming off of losing both your grandparents within 2 weeks?
Yeah, my mother's father and my dad's mother.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
That's some resilience, man.
Yeah.
That's some crazy resilience,
And
man.
I had to speak at both of their funerals. That was a whole nother thing.
Man.
Yeah.
And you produced the whole album yourself. You rapping, singing.
Just pouring my little heart out.
You putting the STL and the hustle and the however. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a lot of hustle in your with the STL, man.
Sure, man.
You really representing with that one, man.
Yeah.
Catch a vibe, man. I mean, it's a vibe. You know what I mean? How did that come about, man?
Oh man, I love Tribe Called Quest. That's one of my favorite groups, so it's kind of a homage to them in a sense. Can I catch a vibe? Yes you can. So it's like my little spin on that song. And also really just asking the question, like, do I have something here, ladies and gentlemen? Can I get your attention? Is this something that y'all rocking with? I ain't did it in a long time. I start the song, it's been a long time, what you heard about me, so it was kind of like my little introduction track in a sense of like testing the waters of not producing music. It had been 3 years at that point.
I got you. Like, how would you describe your style?
Oh man, it's whatever I'm feeling. I'm just playing. But I like to pay. I like to play. Homage to our music, black music.
Mm-hmm.
It's really we come from St. Louis, which is we come from a very enriched musical background here. You got the pioneers of rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
You got the pioneers of blues. You rap superstars. Singers, writers, filmmakers, like you name it. So if anything, I just want to pay homage to the things that we started.
Yeah.
So you might hear a little bit of jazz. You might hear a little bit of rock. You might hear a little bit, of R&B, of hip hop. Just really a gumbo. I like to call my music a gumbo. You take the little scraps here and there, and you mix it all together, and you try to make something good.
That's what's up, man. It's funny you say that, man, because you have all of those elements within your music, and it all comes together really well. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
Because, like, you'll be singing, then you start rapping. But it flows. Like, everything, the sound, the vibe, and everything, it flows. It don't sound like that, like you doing something that don't come natural with, the music that you creating, man. So, like, I think that's a skill in itself. Not too many people can, like, do that,
Thank you.
It's a hard, especially being a rapper, you know what I mean, being respected as, actual MC, a lyricist or whatever, man. And then you sing it on top of that and make it all, like, your unique self. Like, that's pretty hard to do, bro.
I appreciate that. Music is subjective, so that's all I know. That's the best compliment you can give an artist. That you can feel what they're trying to portray. So I hope people gravitate towards it. I hope people like it. But it really is me. This is all I know. This is who I am.
What is, like, your creative process? Like, how does that?
Man, you believe it or not, I like to record in the morning. Like, I am a morning person, and and that might come from just my childhood too. My family's in construction, so our household started at 4 a.m. So I like to get up in the morning, and that's the first thing I like to do is create and write. And I'm a loner too. I never was the type that liked a lot of people around doing the creative process. For me, creativity is a spiritual thing in a sense. It's my me time. It's my way to kind of decompress and to really, think about what I want to say when I do, and that's kind of personal,
Yeah.
Like, sometimes when you have people around, you kind of put an impression on, or you don't want to be as vulnerable because you're trying to be cool in a sense. So it's really not necessarily a lonely process, but it's a personal process, I should say. And,
like, you talked about, them instruments, and we kind of touched a little bit on how it's different. Do you think music is spiritual?
I think so. Just thinking about all the different type of movements across the world. Some of the things that they used to get their message across was through music. Some songs were theme songs to powerful movements. Music is also a community type of thing. You might have a person that you never met before, but you start listing off some of your favorite songs, and they be like, "Yo, I rock with that too."
Yeah.
And now it's a common thread that's been connected that that unifies us.
Would you sign a record deal?
At this point, if the business is right, I'm all about ownership. But the thing about ownership, you got to have something that's valuable.
Yeah.
We talk about ownership, but is the thing that you're owning is valuable, And so with me, if I ever came into a situation, it would just have to make sense. Again, I've been doing this for a very long time and learned a lot through the process because I had to. You know, nobody was checking for me.
So you want to own your music?
Yeah, for sure. And you know, it's my art, it's my words. You know what I'm saying? It's my experiences. It's my life. You know, so I feel like I should have a say in how it's channeled.
Yeah,
you know, it has to make sense.
I mean, I think that's, you know, really important to have control over the things that you create.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's something that you can, you know, pass down to your child.
No,
you
for
know
sure.
what I mean?
For sure.
You know, whether it make a little money or a lot of money or whatever, it's yours to do whatever you want to do with it.
And I think too also it's also the intent behind why you make music. I can't speak for everybody else, but music is really, you know, my therapy. Of course, music has took me to a lot of great places, and I've had a lot of great experiences, you know, because of it. But at the end of the day, it's really just a way for me to tell my story and to shuffle through my emotions and the things that I experience, you know.
Now that you say that, like, you had that in your album, it was kind of like a therapy session.
Yeah.
Did you actually have to go to therapy?
Yes. I did. I did in a sense. Yes. That was my way of trying to self-diagnose myself. Like I think, everybody keeps telling me like, yeah, you need to go to therapy. Okay, cool. Let's make an album about that. Which is interesting too. That I would even do something like that.
I mean, it's interesting, man. You know, I think it's. Did you actually go to therapy?
Yes, I did. Okay. I did a session or two. I need to still continue to do it, but it did help me during that process for sure.
Okay. How so? Just to better understand.
Just better understand why I do the things that I do, you know, or how I react to the way I react to things, and then just unpacking, you know, trauma, you know, and life experiences, you know. It's very interesting how you subconsciously do things that you don't realize based off of past experiences.
Yeah.
You know, or how you react, or, you know, or how you treat people, you know, or how you process things, or what do you do when you're met with restrictions and resistance and things that are emotionally challenging, you know, and finding tools to say, you know, to help you navigate that, or to give yourself grace. You know, too, that's another thing. Therapy is a great tool to really give yourself grace, because, you know, we kind of hard on ourselves at times.
That's for sure, especially like you know, dealing with the death of a relative or something like that. Those things, you know, just come out differently. You know, I lost, you know, relatives, and I didn't know it was going to affect me the way that it did. You know what I mean? And you know, when you have those experiences and then you start feeling certain ways and you can't, it's like a lot of times we don't get the proper help that we need to help better understand our mental. You know what I'm saying? Our mental, we'll drown ourselves in, you know, whatever pleasantries, you know what I mean, without understanding like what's the origin and okay, how can I better overcome this thing that's happened to me.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So I'm glad you had that maturity in you.
I had to, man. It saved my life.
How important do you think it is for you to have the support of your hometown as an artist?
I think it's very important, but I feel also it could be a little bit of a hindrance, and I'm learning that, and I don't want anybody to be offended by that, but sometimes it's good to go away and come back. You know, sometimes going into different markets and going to different things, people can see you for who you are, and then when they see you, then your hometown sees you. I've been chasing St. Louis love for a very long time because I'm proud of being here and being a product of here. You know, but I'm also understanding that sometimes that you have to not necessarily chase opportunities, but grab the opportunities that come. So I feel like it's important, definitely, but don't let it hinder you from doing what you need to do necessary to follow your dreams.
Like, as an independent artist, how important do you think it is to just travel? You know what I mean?
I think it's very important, man. I personally, I like to travel outside of music. I love to travel, and just because that for me, that generates creativity, like to experience new things. Because, you know, you can kind of put a filter on your eyes when you're only used to seeing things in a certain way. Like, okay, I'm from St. Louis. This is how we do things. This is our entertainment. This is, you know, what we have. And you may only see the world that way. So it's very important for you to just travel and just gather new experiences.
I've seen like just a number of different artists that's from here, which, you know, sometimes just being in St. Louis, a lot of artists just being here creating, I don't think a lot of them understand like just how good they really are. Because when they step into large markets, like Chicago, New York, LA, like it's like game changing. You know? I seen, you know, just when certain artists, when they get into those bigger markets, it's like they done blown the biggest thing in the world, man. You know,
for sure.
So I was I was listening to your album, thinking about just how some of your stuff could get placed in some movies and things like that.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Because it's good. You know what I'm saying? It's really good, man. And I just think, you know, that's important for a lot of independent artists to do, man, is to make sure that they still moving around, especially in this market where it's so aggressive now. It's way more aggressive. I mean, it's more opportunity, but it's more aggressive, more saturated. You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
So
I will say this, you know, also to speak on that, like it's okay to use the resources that you have around you. You know, some people are not able to travel or don't have the funds to go into different markets, but that shouldn't stop you from creating. And I had to go through that. I'm still going through that, you know, in a sense of just trying to utilize the things that are available. So I appreciate, you know, St. Louis in a sense for that, because even coming on a platform like this, you know, having that available is great, you know. And I would rather, for me personally, do it at home first before I go out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very appreciative of the things and the resources that we do have here, because they all have been welcoming to my art, you know.
For sure, man. I definitely think collaboration is important. Yeah. And speaking of collaboration, man, who are some artists you would like to collaborate with? Independent artists.
Artists.
Not mainstream.
Man. To be honest with you, man, I'm a fan of music. So anybody that's willing to collaborate, you know, I tell my family all the time, I feel like I'm a lone wolf, man, but I really just want to be part of a pack. So anybody really that's willing to collaborate, I have no hurdles. But to be honest with you, I never really get approached to collaborate.
Is there any artist from the crib that you like?
Yeah, I mean everybody in a sense. I don't want to name drop no names because people get offended. Like, why you didn't say me? I thought we was cool. But this, I will say this: being in the St. Louis music scene, like, we all know each other, man. It's not a lot of opportunities here in a sense of where you could creatively express yourself. So anybody that's really working hard and really trying to elevate their artistry here, I am a fan of, because if anything, it helps us to shine light on this city. So man, I'm with it. Like, come on, man. Like, let's do some stuff.
Being very political, real cool.
I'll put it this way: I start name
dropping.
I start name dropping names when they start name dropping my name in their interviews. How about that?
I feel you, bro. I feel you. What is some of the best advice you got so far?
To be authentic, to be true to yourself, because you got to live with yourself and your life and your decisions. So, and how you do anything is how you do everything. So I try to live life like that. So if I'm giving my best in this area, then it needs to be across the board.
That's solid, man. I will ask you this, like, and it don't have to be independent artists, but who is on your St. Louis Mount Rushmore for music?
Oh man, he gonna make me drop some.
Yeah, like I said, this open to whoever, past, present, whatever.
My boy Nando, he's doing a lot of great things.
Nando, that's one.
Yeah, Nando is
Mount Rushmore. We say
Mount Rushmore. Well, no, Nando, he'll get there one day for sure. Nah, for sure. So I don't want to take that away from him. But shoot, I'm gonna throw one in there. Chuck Berry. Chuck
Berry. That's what's up. I think that's deserving.
Yeah. I mean, he literally is the architect of rock and roll. Like, one of the what we coin as rock and roll. It's one of his first songs. They trace it back to him. His guitar style and of what he contributed created a genre. Yeah. So that's definitely one. Of course, you gotta put Nelly in there, because he put us on the map in a new age area, and he's done some things that's amazing. And not a lot of people can go diamond and go diamond at a time where it wasn't social media. It was all physical sales, physical touring, merch, all that, the whole nine. So I'll drop those two names for you.
You got two more though.
Two more? Man, you gonna make me work. Tina Turner.
Is she from St. Louis?
Oh yeah. No, for sure. Yeah.
Fact check that.
Yeah, Tina Turner for sure. She started performing at a club in
I know
Florida.
Ike is. Yeah. But I'm not sure about Tina.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's still three. You got one more.
One more. Can I put myself up there?
It's yours, so you can put yourself.
I gotta
on there.
put myself up there. I hope to be in somebody's Mount Rushmore one day.
Kendall Davidson.
I'm working towards that. To be the face of St. Louis music.
That's what's up, man. Well, Kendall, man, I definitely appreciate you pulling up, building with us, man. Is there anything else you want to let the people know before we sign off?
Yes, it's been 2 long years, but I'm finally dropping a EP called Rise that's coming out March the 20th. That is a combination of soul, R&B, rock, alternative, hip-hop. It's live instrumentation on there. We wanted to create an experience and something that people can be proud of, that can be produced in St. Louis. So look out for Rise EP coming out March the 20th.
That's what's up, man. Any other way they can get in contact with you, man? Social media handles, all
follow
that?
me on Instagram, TikTok, KD Freshman, Kendall Davidson Music on YouTube. Reach out. I'm not shy in the sense. I'm a little shy, but I love music, so I love talking about it. So be on the lookout for shows and activations. We got a lot of things that's in store to help people, experience, what we've been cooking up.
That's what's up, man. Well, Kendall, man, it was a pleasure having you on, man.
Thank you for having me.
Looking forward to, hearing from you again, bro.
Yes, man. I appreciate it.
All right, we out.
Peace.